Hello, today we'll be doing today's question, that is 844 backspace string compare. So the question statement given is, given two strings S and T, return true if they are equal when both are typed into empty text editors, and hash means a backspace character. Note that after backspacing an empty text, the text will continue empty. So what the question means is that if there is a hash, it is very simple. If there is a hash, that means just backspace it. What do we mean by backspace? So if there is a character previous to this hash, just delete it. Okay, that is what this hash is meaning. Okay, so after doing such operations, so is the string equal or not? That is what we need to find out. So let's understand this with an example, even though the question is pretty clear. Okay, so at first we see these two are equal, right? Fine, not a problem. After that we see that, okay, there is a hash and there is a hash. So what do we need to do? We just need to delete this and again delete this. After deleting this, what happens is we move to this index, okay, for both the strings. Now we see that A and A are together, or not together, I mean similar, so we return a true. Okay, so this was it. So now let's get to this example right here. So this will become more clear to you. So AB hash, a hash and a hash, and C hash and a D hash. So we see a hash and we see a hash again. So what happens is there are two hashes, so we need to delete two consecutive characters which we found. Not exactly two consecutive, sorry by that. So we do not need to have two consecutive character, we just need to delete two characters. Okay, so two hashes mean two characters, just delete it. So this is deleted, this is also deleted. We have an empty string. One hash, delete this, one hash, delete this, so we get an empty string. Okay, so if there is a hash, it means automatically delete a previous occurring character. Okay, so that is it. So both are forming same, that is a null character or empty character, so it is similar. Now what happens when those two are not similar? So as in this case, you can see that this A will be deleted, but this C will be remaining, which is not equals to B. So we'll just return a false. So now let's get the intuition on how about doing this problem. So we can just simply use a stack. And why do we need to use a stack? Let's see. So I'll just take the first example as of now. So AB hash and a C. So what happens? We can just simply insert all the elements until we find a hash, and if we find a hash, we just delete the previous character or the topmost character of the stack. So what are the steps? So the steps are insert, okay, insert all characters till we find a hash. And what do we do when we find a hash? If there is a hash, delete. Okay, so we just delete. Okay, so these are the two steps, that is, one is this one and the second is this one. So now what you got to do is, so you found a that is a character, insert it. You find a character B, insert it. Now there is a hash. What do? We just delete whatever's on the top, right? So we delete this. Now again we insert C. Why? Because this is a character. Okay, so after you have done all the things, okay, inserting, and you have reached the end of the string, what you do is just construct this string, whatever is there in the string. And by the way, this is A, okay, not E. So CA has been constructed. I've just taken the reverse order, I did not reverse it. Okay, you could have also reversed it, not a problem. So now what we got to do is we got to check for the second string also, right? And what was the second string? It was ad hash and c. That is already given here in the question right here. Okay, if you just see it. So what you got to do is again follow the same steps. Character insert, character insert. You find a hash, what you got to do is you just got to delete it. delete this. Now again a character, that is C, insert it. Now what are the characters that is in the stack? Again CA is there in the stack. So as you can see, these two are similar, right? So these two are similar. So you just got to do this and it will be done. So yeah, that is it for this intuition of this approach on how to do this. So the time complexity and the space complexity, let's talk about this first. So there is a solution which I had implemented using a stack, and there is a solution which I implemented just using two empty strings, okay, by constructing two empty strings. So this is the empty string one, and this is the stack code. So what is the time complexity for this and the space complexity? As you can see, this is the first time I'm iterating, this is the second time I'm iterating, and this is the third time, this is the fourth time, right? So it is 4n, and which could be said about, that is nearly about O of n, right? And what is the space? So the space actually here is O of n plus another O of n, which I am using for constructing the yeah, string, and another O of n, which is O of 3n, which we could nearly say about, that is also O of n, okay, since we ignored the constant values in bigger notations, okay. But here in this approach which I've done using just the strings one, I've just used two empty variables and constructed it. So here the time complexity will be O of 2n, which is near about 10, and the space complexity would be O of 2n, which is near about again n, okay. So you could follow any of the approach. Now let's get to the code part on how we are going to do it and how we are implementing it, okay. So first I've declared a stack, as simple as that. After that, what do? We just push and pop the characters and the hashes. So this part is doing what? If it is a character, just push it. If it is a hash, then pop it. Fine. That I explained already in the algorithm while I was showing you how to do it. Now, what I've done here is I've just constructed, right? So what do we mean by constructing? So whatever was left in the string, as you can, if you just go back and see, we had something like CA left out, right? That is what I've stored in this string one variable. And after that, what you are doing is doing the same thing for string t, which is given in the question, right? So the same steps for the string t, and this is the same steps doing for string t. Again we'll get a string something like ca and ca, so both are similar. At the end of the day, we just return if both are similar, and this is the code for this one. So as you can see, these are repetitive codes, okay. So this whole part right here has been written twice. So the first time right here, and the second time, which is written from here to here. So you could have also used a separate function and just called it twice for string s and t also, okay. So however you like to implement, I have implemented everything here. So that is what I have did here. So I hope you have understood this code, and let's get to the this code on how I did this one, right? So the intuition behind this one is also similar to stack, okay. So if you have understood the stack implementation, you will be understanding this pretty easily, I'm sure of that. So what I've done here is I've just taken, like in the stack, what we were doing was we were just iterating from the front and pushing and popping out the elements, right? What I'm doing here in this code is I'm just iterating from backwards, okay, from the end of the string. And what am I doing? I'm saying if I find a character, okay, fine, just add it, okay. And if you do not find a character, what you're going to do is you just maintain a count variable, which I've written here, and increase it, okay. So if I found a hash, just increases. So if I have something like an example like this, what you got to do is, so you find a character, add it to the character. When you find a hash, you do nothing, you just increment the count to 1. Fine, not a problem. Now again, when you go, you see that okay, this is a character, you should have just added it, right? But instead I need a check. If count is equals to 0, that means I did not have any previously found hash, okay. So if I have found a hash already to my right, what will happen? The count will be 1, right? Since the count is 1, what will happen is it will go into this else part, and again it will see, is there a hash? Is D a hash? Obviously not. So what will it do? It will just count minus minus. So now count the way count value will become to 0. Okay. And let's say if we had something like a, what would happen is this will not be added obviously. Now it will move on to this part, and what will it do is sees that s of I is a character, and also the count is equals to 0, right? See, so it is very simple. So we just add a CA. Okay. And again the same thing. So in this code also it is the same thing that I've done. Okay, just like the above part I've just done for the below one. Okay, I'll just copy paste the same thing just for string t, and if you just submit this, you will also get a AC in this one. Okay, I'm just running this once again to show you that this gets accepted. Okay, so if you just run this, it will also work fine. And if you want the code, I'll just minimize this and you could have a look at it. And if you did understand this explanation, please do like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.